Welcome back guys to another Clash Royale video. Today we're playing around with the Valkyrie and the Witch, both of which were buffed in yesterday's update. So I really want to try them out and see how much of a change actually happened. So this is the deck that I'm using right now. Obviously I've got the Witch and the Valkyrie in there. I threw in the Electric Pump as well just because it's a really strong card and allows for some pretty strong late game pushes. And the rest of the cards, it's pretty obvious as to why they're in there. Now when I'm building a deck guys, I really try to keep my Elixir cost below 4. Ideally as low as possible. It just really helps cycle through those cards a lot faster. So I've actually been doing pretty well with this deck. As you can see here, I'm sitting at about 2,500 trophies, and I'm about 5 wins to 2 losses with this deck so far. Both of my losses today came from level 10s, so it was really hard to kind of overcome that level difference. So we're going to get into some replays in just a second here. First, we have quite a bit of chests to open up here. So I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly. Like I said in yesterday's video, just really looking for some epics. Because everything else that I have right now is just really waiting for some gold to upgrade. So just kind of looking for epics. We got 3 more chests here. What can we get? Nothing crazy there. What else do we got here? Some gold, mortar, and some cannons. And finally, we have more gold, giant, Tesla, 3 musketeers, and 1 more golden card. That's pretty sweet. Just 7 more of those, we can finally upgrade that to level 4. So let's go into some replays, guys. So here we are, guys. This first replay was against a level 9, and that does really kind of show off how strong this deck can be if used properly. But right at the start here, we're going to wait for him to make the first move, and he's going to go ahead, drop that giant way in the back there. So I'm going to use this opportunity to drop my Elixir Pump, just because I feel pretty confident that we will be able to defend against this giant push here. But we're going to wait a minute, see what he does next. He's going to go ahead and drop his pump right in the middle there. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else to kind of build up there. Our cannon is kind of back in our deck. So we're going to have to cycle through a few cards here. We drop our Spear Goblins. He's going to use a zap on that, which is okay. Now I drop my cannon to distract that giant to the side there. And my Goblins are going to go in there and do some pretty strong damage to that giant. Now he's actually using the 3 Musketeer combo, which is really strong and really deadly. And unfortunately, his Musketeers are level 7, which means my Fireball will not be able to take him out in 1 hit. And that's a pretty big difference here, guys. If your Fireball doesn't take him out 1 hit, it does allow them to do some pretty strong pushes. But if you watch right there, that Valkyrie, really strong counter to those archers and those goblins. That was a 5 Elixir push with those archers and the goblins, and the Valkyrie was 4 Elixir. So that was 1 Elixir gain for myself there. He's going to go ahead and set up a second pump there with the cannon in front, which is super annoying, because if I want to get my troops to his tower, I have to go through all that kind of stuff there. He drops the poison spell on my pump and my tower. Now I'm not too sure if that's really Elixir efficient, or if it's going to pay off for him. Obviously I'm going to lose a couple of Elixir from that pump there, but he does have those pumps down, so I'm going to try and go on the left hand side, because my troops will not have to go through the pump on the right to get to the tower. So I'm going to wait for my Witch to get up front to the bridge, drop some troops. The Goblins run really fast, so I'm going to drop them way in the back there. And of course I'm going to use my Valkyrie up front. Now unfortunately that tower is going to target my Witch first, which really sucks. And watch this, guys. One of the Musketeers on the right hand side decides that she's going to target the Valkyrie on the left hand side. That really sucks, because my Fireball hit 2 of the Musketeers instead of 3 of them. So right here, we're going to have to defend pretty strongly here. He's got a giant up front there with the Musketeer in the back. He's going to drop a second giant here. So watch this, guys. Watch the Valkyrie here. She's going to take out that Musketeer and do some damage to this giant here. And with the helps of those Goblins there, that giant is not going to make it to my tower, which is really great for us. So right now, we're about even on Elixir, but I do have a cannon up, which is kind of nice. So we're going to wait and start setting up a push on the left-hand side. Now what I do with the Witch, guys, is I drop her all the way in the back, because it allows her to get an army of skeletons out before she reaches the bridge. So right here, I drop the minion horde, obviously to take care of that cannon. And now I've got my Witch and my Valkyrie going back in on the left-hand side with those Spear Goblins behind them. The Valkyrie can do a pretty good job defending that Witch there from those Spear Goblins. But unfortunately with the Crown Tower, the Archers, and the Poison Spell, they will die. But that left-hand tower is getting pretty low. It's at 800 health there. And we're now into overtime. So all I have to do is 1 final push on the left-hand side to take it out. Now watch this, guys. He's got no Elixir to back up these giants here. So that minion horde is going to do some pretty crazy damage to that giant there. And they're actually not going to even make it to the tower. Only 1 hit off with those 2 giants. So now on the left-hand side, that Witch was able to get in there with those skeletons and take out that tower. So that's going to do it, a 1 crown victory for us. let's go ahead and take a look at the next replay, guys. So here we are with the next replay, guys. Now, right at the start here, I normally like to wait for them to make the first move, but I do get a little bit impatient here, so I want to go ahead, drop those spear goblins right at the start here, and by the time he reacts to it, I actually got most of that elixir back, so it was almost a 2 elixir gain for myself. So watch right here, I'm going to go ahead, drop those spear goblins like I said, and look at my elixir bar, it's back pretty much to full by the time he responds, so pretty good for me. I'm going to go ahead and drop a elixir pump down here. He's going to try and take that pump out with his hog rider, so I'm going to defend it with my cannon. Now watch this, guys, he uses the fireball to take it out. He is able to get some damage done to my pump, but if you look at the elixir here, I have a huge advantage now. He spent way too much trying to take that pump out, so I'm almost at full. He's only at 5 elixir, and I still have a pump out there that's going to give me at least 2 elixir back, so pretty big difference there. So now I'm going to start setting up a push here on the right hand side with my witch and some goblins to back her up. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Valkyrie in front. Now watch this, guys. Unfortunately, he drops a minion horde, which is going to take out my witch pretty quick. But I do drop a fireball, which allows my Valkyrie to get in there and get some hits on the tower. Now with that recent health buff, made a big difference here because obviously my Valkyrie was able to get in there and get 2 hits off on that tower. Pre-buff, she might have been able to get 1 or none, no hits off on that tower. So now his tower on the right hand side is down to 1400 health. So things are looking pretty good for us. We still have that elixir advantage. We're going to use that to drop another pump down. He's going to try once again to get some hits off on that pump with the hog rider. So I'm going to defend it with my minion horde this time, and he uses another fireball there. So once again, we have an elixir advantage here. We're up by about 3 or 4 elixir here. So we're going to start another push on the right hand side, you guys, with the witch card in the back as well. We're just going to wait till we get to about 10 elixir before we start doing the push here. So there we go, witch is down. She's going to start spawning out skeletons there. And once she kind of gets closer to the bridge there, we're going to go ahead and drop the Valkyrie as well. Now he's going to drop those barbarians there, which is perfect because now I can use my fireball to take out the barbarians as well as do some damage to that tower. So we got a pretty strong push here. Now watch this, guys. He drops the minion horde there, but they don't target the witch this time. The witch is actually able to take out that minion horde pretty fast, especially with that damage buff she got. So that's kind of nice. Now his tower on the right hand side is all the way down to 600 health. And because we had those pumps down, we're able to cycle through and do another push again. But unfortunately this time, my fireball was not ready as fast as I wanted it to be. So those barbs will take out that Valkyrie. So now he's got a strong push coming here on the right hand side. I dropped my minion horde to take care of the goblin barrel. Unfortunately, he uses the fireball. And he misses a couple of my minions, which is pretty nice. They're going to go in there and distract those archers for a couple of seconds, which allows me some time to go ahead and drop my witch again in the back. I'm going to use my cannon there to distract that hog rider. Now, the reason I switched to the cannon instead of the Tesla was just because it's 1 elixir less, and it helps you cycle through those cards faster. Now watch this, guys. The Valkyrie's going to go in there and do a pretty good job tanking, and I also have the skeletons as well as the goblins backing her up. Now pretty quickly here, we're going to take out that tower. That's going to do it for this battle, guys. Another 1 crown victory for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last replay there. So here we are with that last replay, guys. This was another battle against a level 9. So really fun, really good to watch these battles here against the higher level opponents here. So right at the start here, I don't have my pump in my starting hand, unfortunately. And I could have 2 options here. I could drop my cannon or my Valkyrie. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Valkyrie way in the back here. The reason I do that instead of dropping the cannon was because if they happen to be an Expo or a Mortar deck, if I drop that cannon in a defensive position, they can just completely ignore it. Whereas if I drop that Valkyrie, they will have to respond to it somehow. So that's why I choose to drop the Valkyrie instead of the cannon at the start here. So there she goes. She's going to start making her way up to the bridge here. I'm going to wait for a second and see what he does. He kind of waits for his first move, which really allows me to get all of the elixir back that I spent on that Valkyrie. Really fun. So I dropped the pump there and used that extra elixir I got there. And so now I've got a goblin going up front with the Valkyrie. Unfortunately, he's using the double prince combo. It's a super strong combo there, guys. I'm going to go ahead with a super clutch fireball, do some damage to his prince and his dark prince, and take out all those goblins. Now watch this, guys. This is the reason why the double prince combo is really strong. Even with a sliver of health each, they're able to go in there, take out that tower, and get a hit off on that pump there. So that combo with the prince and the dark prince is super deadly. So I dropped the crying face there just because I know it's a really strong combo. But surprisingly, the deck that I'm using right now, it felt like a really strong counter for that combination. So he's going to go ahead, drop his mini P.E.K.K.A way in the back here. I'm going to drop my witch back in my corner. And the witch is going to be great because those skeletons are really going to distract the P.E.K.K.A and the prince there. I'm going to drop some goblins and a mini horde. And overall, just going to do an awesome job here, taking out his entire push. He's going to use those arrows, which is going to take out all those weak units, but of course I got the witch there, and she's going to keep spawning skeletons. So she's going to get in there, get a couple of hits off on that tower, and with that buff, she's able to do some pretty strong damage there. So his tower is down to 1800 health, and which is really good considering he started with more health than my tower. So I'm going to use this opportunity, drop a second pump, which is going to become very useful later on in the battle here, as you will see. So once again, I dropped that witch in the back here. He's got his Dark Prince coming up here, which is a really good counter for these skeletons. But I had that Valkyrie up front, which is really great because she's pretty tanky. So she's going to go ahead, take that Prince from me, and she's still alive there. Now, I have a pretty strong push here with the Witch and the Goblins. I'm going to drop a second Witch there, which is really awesome, which allows me to set up a super strong push here. He's trying desperately to defend against this, but with those two Witches continuously spawning troops, it's really hard for him to counter it. He drops a mini packet, which fortunately targets the skeletons and not my witches. He's going to use his arrows, but of course those witches are going to stay alive, and the two of the witches together are able to take out that tower completely. So now we have a 1 crown lead with 10 seconds left. There's no chance for him to come back, so that's pretty much good game for us. So I'm going to drop a good game, just because at this point he's not going to come back. And anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really had a lot of fun trying out these cards after they were updated. They're feeling pretty good. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you feel like it, because I will be putting out Clash Royale stuff every single day. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.